Hi, and welcome back to art class. Today we will be doing a drawing. So please go get a piece of paper. I'm using just a normal size sheet of paper. And I'm using crayons. You are welcome to use whatever color sticks you want. Crayons, pencils, could use markers, I don't recommend it. So please go get those, pause the video, go get those, and come back when you have everything. All right, before we actually start our drawing, I wanted to show you some images of what we are drawing. So just a moment while I share my screen. All right, hopefully you can see my screen. You can see some dragonflies. That is what we are drawing today. When I think about what I'm going to have you draw, what I'm going to draw with you, I just start, and I start by doodling. So I'll show you what I came up with. Here, let me stop my share. Let me turn on my dot cam so you can see that. One moment. There we go. All right. So I doodle and I think about what I want you to learn. Today we're going to work on shading and using color to shift between different colors. So we're going to be blending well. I started off with a dragonfly, maybe doing that. You can kind of see its wings over here, but I didn't like how I did it. So then I tried again, and that's how I came up with this one. And I thought that looked a lot better. A couple things worth noting. The body, I didn't really do much for the body. I just took a dark crayon and turned it on its side, made some marks. The wings, you can see these lines here, all right? You can see how they kind of flow from each other. We're gonna work on that too a little bit. Just as a reminder, in case you haven't thought about dragonflies in a while, there is something about their wings that is either metallic looking. Some of them look like that, kind of like my scarf. And some of them are iridescent. And that is a little bit different, but it's like multicolored, even if it looks clear. So anyhow, this is just my reference image. Thought you might be interested in seeing that. Let us begin. Let's see, am I going to draw it? Well, I think I might draw it slightly diagonally. We'll find out. Dragonflies actually are symmetrical. I don't know if mine's going to end up being that way. So please take a medium colored crayon if you like. I will use light green so that you can hopefully still see it on camera. Let's see. Yeah, you should be able to see that. All right, dragonflies have a long body, so I'm just going to put a line where I intend the body to go. Maybe I should use a darker color. All right, now I can usually draw pretty straight. If you can't, use the edge of a book or something. Let's see how I did. Well, other than that wiggle at the front, I did pretty good. That just comes from practice and drawing for a long time. All right, so that's going to be the length of the body. I want the head to be about that long from here to here. And I'm not going to worry about the rest of it. Now, I know that I want the wings to be about the same width. So I'm going to take this little piece of paper. And fold it in half so I know that there's the same amount of paper here and here. I'm going to lay it right there. All right, so let's see. I'm just going to lightly mark out where the edges of this are. You might want to do this in pencil, but it's really not going to matter. Oops. All right, so if I have wings, I want to make sure I don't have one that just comes to here and one that comes way over here. So now I have an idea of how I can make them the same size. I'm going to put a mark right about here. All right, so this is just a little bit longer than the head. I'm just going to do that to mark kind of where I want the wings to start. Notice the wings over here, they start by coming, actually, you know what, maybe I should turn it the same way as I'm drawing, just so it looks less confusing to everyone. Ooh. There we go. The wings, I want them to kind of start here, but come up to here. So they're gonna start here and then kind of come up to the base of the head. That's gonna be the base of the head. And I'm going to do it on both sides at the same time. All right, now notice I have an arc that kind of goes up at the end. So I'm gonna go, and let's see if I can do it on the other side. It's about the same length. You can see it's about that far past the line and about that far past the line. That's about right. You can see there's like a bigger section at the top. So I'm going to just take this like that. I'm going to follow my own line. And I'll do the same thing over here. I will warn you, you may have to do this part several times. No, it doesn't look equal. I think this one needs to be a little bit longer, so that one might end up running off the paper. Anyhow, this shape, it's not easy to get your hand to do that. I've had a lot of practice. So if yours isn't coming that easily to you, that's okay. Maybe take a sheet of paper and just practice making a shape like that until you get it how you want it. It's not normal for your hand to make that smooth line. So you need to practice that. All right. So let's see. Then I had the wing kind of coming up like that. And then the bottom part here is just kind of one big arc. So I'm going to look at where I want it to start. I want the fullest part of it to be about there. So let's see. Oops, I wanted it to go a little bit lower. See, I didn't get my line where I wanted it the first time, so don't worry about it if you don't. It happens, right? Let's see if I can do the other one. Those definitely are not symmetrical, but it's all right. I can kind of redraw them until I get them. All right, so those are the first wings. Now below that, we've got another set of wings. This set of wings is a little bit easier. The top part is just one big curve. I'm going to look at how far down I want it to be, just a little bit down. And I want it to be one big curve. Oops, this one definitely came too low. It's a little bit in the way. Now, remember, we're just kind of marking out where we're going to have parts of the dragonfly. That's why we're not coloring it in yet or anything or paying attention to that. Ooh, let's see if I can get this part. This part has a little bit of a ripple underneath. So I don't really have a great way to describe this to you other than that's the shape I'm using. You're welcome to use it. Just take a good look at it. It might take a few tries. Well, mine's not perfect either. Well, that'll have to do. Okay, so now I roughly have the wings where I want them. I think I'm going to change this. Come up more. My wings are a little bit flat, so I'm just going to change where I have them. All right. So now let's look at how we're going to do these wings. The wings have a little bit of a pattern, sort of like flower petals, if you look at those and how they have little veins in them. So really what this is about is how we divide the space. This whole wing is here. We know we need some little spots in it in different colors and textures. So that's what we need to look at now. How are we going to divide the space? So we want to work with the curves we've already got to make it look dramatic. So I'm going to put a line there and there. And then we have this line here. I know this is going to be one of the more difficult ones to follow along, so let me just go over where I actually intend these lines to be, okay? All right, so now if you look at where the purple is, that's really where I need my lines to be. All right. So let me see where I'm at here. Now, if you look at this one, let me see if I can show you. I have some lines that go like this. A little hard to see, so that's why I'm drawing over it. Okay, those are really elegant shapes. They have a nice gradually widen and get smaller. And then up here, the way I laid it out and divided the space so I could have different areas of color, it's more like that. So, there you go. So now we just kind of by hand have to decide where those lines are going to be to divide up the space. All right, this one I'm starting more or less in the middle. You might have to pause and decide where you're putting your lines and then restart the video. But you can do that anytime you need to, so I'm just going to keep on drawing. Now I've used purple and green. Those are both cool colors. I'm going to put down some blue, this medium kind of electric blue. in a few spaces so that then I can begin to layer my colors. Reminder, if you're using colored pencils, this is going to take you a while. It doesn't have to be exactly symmetrical on both sides. You want it to have a little bit of a feeling of being symmetrical. This is the line of symmetry, meaning this and this, kind of like my hands, it all matches. I'm just spacing out where I have the blue, so it's all kind of balanced, and I have the color in different places. I can see how much blue I have down, and if that's the amount I want down. That's why I'm not just doing like the blue and then putting purple and then putting green. I'm doing all of the color all over. Let's see. I am going to switch to a very bright light green, and I'm going to put that next to my bright blue on one side of it in a few places. If you are using colored pencils, please check and make sure that your pencil is covering the paper nicely and you're not having a lot of gaps. If you have gaps in where you're coloring, like if you're like coloring and you've got a lot of like spaces, that's gonna really lessen how good your image looks. Basically, it's not gonna look as good as it could. I'm gonna take some yellow and put it in here next to where I put some of that green. This yellow is super bright, and I'm gonna make use of that, so. Now notice, because I'm moving between colors and I'm transitioning, I have green between the blue and the yellow, which makes sense, and it's gonna look good to your eye because blue and yellow make green. So that's one way I can transition between colors and have it be very smooth. All right, I'm gonna put down some medium green. All right. Now I'm gonna take, if you have a white, if you have construction paper crayons, I encourage you to take that and blend your colors. Now I'm gonna actually take a little bit of red and put it where the purple is. That will give us some contrast because it's a warm color. All right, so now when you get to about here, Your job is to make all of this blend nicely. Spend some time getting your colors to transition and look kind of like a rainbow if you can. Don't specifically use rainbow colors. I'm not looking for that. Just saying you can get a lot of good effects if you have it look a bit like a rainbow. Okay? So get to there. If you want to finish it, you can. Just as a reminder, you will have work that is due during distance learning if you haven't already done distance learning. I will be asking you to send me pictures of it. If you cannot send me a picture on Canvas, send it to acordova@atlosstcloud.org. Have your parents send it if they want. And please, in the subject line, put your teacher's name, your grade, and then your name. Thank you. I hope you enjoy your drawing.